All right, the news says the continued increase in cooking gas prices is pushing many Nigerians to use charcoal and firewood, reversing years of progress in promoting cleaner and safer cooking energy. Marketers currently pay between 25.2 million naira and 26.2 million naira for 20 metric tons of LPG, and consumers now pay between 1,500 and 1,700 per kilogram, up from 1,100 just weeks ago. Who are the people affected by the price hike? Nigerian households, especially low and middle income families, food vendors, and small businesses. The Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers, charcoal and firewood sellers who are seeing increased sales. Women and children who bear the head and labor burden of traditional cooking, and environmental advocates concerned about deforestation and air pollution. Four reasons why this price hike affects every Nigerian, not just cooking gas users. 1. It reverses years of progress on clean cooking energy and public health. Professor Dayo Ayoade, energy law expert at Unilag, warned that traditional fuels cause respiratory diseases, carbon monoxide poisoning, and lung cancer. Women and young girls bear the greatest risk. They stay in the kitchen, breathe the smoke, and spend hours collecting firewood instead of attending school. The shift back to charcoal and firewood is a public health emergency and a blow to the Girl Child Education campaign. Number 2, it increases deforestation and environmental destruction. Burning charcoal and firewood requires cutting down trees. Nigeria is already losing its forest at an alarming rate. Deforestation destroys habitats, reduces biodiversity, and contributes to climate change. Every family that switches from gas to charcoal adds pressure on Nigeria's remaining forest. The environmental cost of this price hike will last for decades. Number 3, it creates a new economy of charcoal sellers. But that is not good news. Charcoal sellers in Borno report sales increased by 20% in 1 week. A Kano charcoal seller now sells twice as fast as before. This is not economic growth, it is a sign of regression. Nigerians are not choosing charcoal because they want to. They are choosing it because they cannot afford gas. An economy built on poverty-driven charcoal sales is not a success. Number 4, it exposes the failure of Nigeria's energy policy despite being a gas-rich country. Nigeria is one of the largest natural gas reserves holders in Africa, yet Nigerians cannot afford cooking gas. Professor Ayoade called it the energy paradox, a wealthy country struggling to supply energy resources to its people at reasonable prices. The government has promoted LPG as a cleaner alternative for years. Those, those gains are now being undone by market forces and policy failures. Now, my advice based on this report: number 1, to the federal government, intervene immediately. This is not a luxury. Cooking gas is a necessity. Options include temporary waive import duties on LPG, subsidize gas for low-income households, or fix the supply chain bottlenecks that are driving up prices. Do not let clean energy gains be destroyed by market failures. Number two, to the Nigerian Association of LPG Marketers, be transparent. Publish the landed cost of LPG, the taxes, and the margins. Nigerians need to know whether this price hike is driven by genuine supply constraints or profiteering. Transparency builds trust. Secrecy breeds anger. Number three, to state governments, promote alternative clean cooking solutions like the power stove mentioned in Lagos. These are cheaper, 300 naira per kg, stable for 3 years, and cleaner than charcoal. Provide subsidies or financing for households to switch to these alternatives. Not everyone can afford gas, but not everyone should have to breathe charcoal smoke. Number four, to households currently using charcoal and firewood. If you cannot afford gas, ventilate your cooking area. Cook outside if possible. Open windows. Limit children's exposure to smoke. Also, exploit power stoves and green gel if available in your area. Every small reduction in smoke exposure improves health. The question here that no one may answer is, if Nigeria is sitting on vast natural gas reserves, yet its citizens cannot afford to cook with gas and are being forced back to charcoal and firewood, which destroy forests and kill with smoke. What does that say about the country's energy policy? It says the policy has failed. It says that resources wealth does not translate into citizens' welfare. It says that the government has prioritized exports over local consumption, profits over people, and it says that without urgent intervention, the gains of a decade will be lost in a year. Nigerians should not have to choose between eating and breathing clean air, but that is exactly where they are. Akai News reports that cooking gas cooking gas prices have gone through the roof. A bag of charcoal is now a household best friend. A power stove is a luxury alternative, and Nigerians are adopting not because they want to, but because they have no choice. The government promoted LPG as the fuel of the future. That future is now unavoidable. The result: more smoke, more deforestation, more disease, and more poverty. This is not progress, this is regression. And until the government treats cooking gas as the necessity it is, not as a market commodity to be left to chance, Nigerians will continue to cook with the fuel of the past: charcoal, firewood, and desperation. Thank you for listening. I am Joseph Iyaji.